newfound news for Scotland. This is episode 3 in our new weekly podcast. Top news from Scotland and around Europe. Coming up, Starmer, is Labour right on Gaza? Opinion polls, is the SNP in trouble? Hydrogen, is it the new miracle fuel? We have a story on that. What about the missing WhatsApps? Anything to see here? John McClane 100th anniversary, the song content. There's so much. I think you should just sit down and listen. It's news where we are. Okay, and first up in episode 3, we've got top stories coming up from the week ending the 3rd of November. I'm Hugh Stewart. First story, Scottish Games Week. Computer gaming is big business, and Scotland is an important player, as it were, in the economic sense. To celebrate and stimulate the games business, Scottish Parliament the other day held a members' business debate on the games industry, opened by Clair Adamdson, MSP, and here's a part of her speech.
There's a plethora of exciting events still to come this week until the 7th of November, so please do get involved where you can. So why is the games sector underrepresented in our public policy? And crucially, how are we going to change that? The games industry is the largest entertainment media in the world by some distance. Global market revenues stand at $214.2 billion with a projected annual growth of 8.4%. The sector eclipses traditional entertainment media, worth more than the music and video industries combined. And the headline figures paint a picture of a colossal economic potential. But the game sector is much more than that. The game sector is an ecosystem, and if we can support the games ecosystem in Scotland to thrive, it will bring enormous benefits to our society, economically, and yes, socially and culturally too. We all know the big players. We're not far from one of them. But I'm interested in looking at not the big players, but the big picture in Scotland. So there are innovative small studios across the country, and they need our sport to flourish. It takes a lot to make a game, and it's a hard slog. But there are opportunities for software developers, coders, engineers, actors, artists, musicians, writers, animators, graphic designers, translators, advertisers, educators, lawyers, event planners, and I could go on, Presiding Officer. But the games industry will touch every aspect of our lives, every sector of the economy, health and our health and social contract with the people of Scotland.
Clair Adamdson in Parliament the other day talking about Scottish Games Week. Next, Maurice Goldman MSP rose to suggest some unexpected benefits of gaming to the aspiring politician.
I remember back in the early 1990s as a young boy playing Lemmings. Such a simple but compelling strategy game where you had to instruct little creatures to fulfil a number of roles with the purpose of navigating through puzzles and moving on to the next level. Who knew those skills would come in so handy 25 years later when I was Chief Whip to the Scottish Conservatives? I had no idea at the time that Lemmings had been developed in the Perth Road in Dundee, just a short distance away from where I was playing it, and with 20 million copies sold, that game ultimately transformed DMA Design and put it on the pathway to what would go on to become Rockstar North, not only transforming the company's fortunes, but the catalyst for transforming Dundee into one of the most globally significant centres for computer game development. The role of Dundee-based companies in the development of iconic games such as Minecraft and Grand Theft Auto cannot be understated.
Yes, it is indeed big business. That was Maurice Goldman, along with other MSPs, talking about Scottish Games Week, which is going on now as we make this podcast, continuing until the 7th of November with events across Scotland. Have a look online. Next story, improvements to Scottish social security.